Good morning. My name is Ishita. Welcome to my teaching learning session. Today we are going to cover Block 3 Media and Entertainment from the course BEGLA 135 English and Daily Life. Start with the blog introduction first. In this blog, our focus is on a wider scope on topics such as media, shopping, people who provide us with their services and entertainment. We have dealt with these topics through different text types, descriptive pieces, a biographical account, and a play. Besides reading comprehension, we also have the other skills of listening, speaking, and writing. In the writing section, we will give you practice in writing longer pieces such as writing a proof report, story building, and describing places. And the grammar section will help you think about language, and we will cover topics like passive voice, used to, and would, phrasal verbs, present perfect, and present perfect continuous. So, in Unit 1, we are going to talk about the media. What are the objectives here? In this in these modern and high-tech times, the term media covers both print and electronic media, which acts as means of mass communication. So here I would like you to think about what do you understand by the term media. So just take a pause and think about what you understand by media. I mean, what are the images that you get, or what is the first thought that comes to your mind? Okay. So, media in general terms, we understand media as television, radio, and newspaper, right? Which are used as means of communication. And the media that we are most familiar with are newspapers, magazines, radio, TV, and now the mobile phone and the internet, of course. Also, the term media is the plural of medium. So, from the word medium, you have media, right? It is the plural. So, this is the medium through which, what are you doing? We are disseminating information, right? It refers to the communication channels through which we disseminate news, music, movies, education, promotional messages, and other data. Now, it includes physical as well as online newspapers and magazines, television, radio, telephone, internet, fax, and the billboards. Now, billboards is slightly different from this entire category, and we'll come back to it in due course of time. So, there are various categories that you will find when we talk about media, types of media. But what are the major types that you can think of? So, there are three types, for example, news media, social media, and web media. Right? In news media, you have again three types, which is like print media, then broadcast media, and then you have the internet. So in print media, you have the newspaper and the magazines, and in broadcast media, you'll have TV and radio, right? Um, Now, third is the internet media. Internet, we all know that there are various usage that we internet can be associated with. But what are the most common types that we are using these days? So again, there are certain divisions that you have. You have social media, right? Now there is a new type which is not very common. It is called OOH. Okay, this type of media, OOH, or out of home or outdoor media, right? So, what is outdoor media or out of home media? Think of an example, like I said, that we'll talk about billboards. So, when you are out of your home and when you are on the go, the kind of media that you come across, that is called OOH, or out of home media, right? It primarily refers to outdoor advertising as well. And the common examples are billboards. Then you have wall caves and posters, which are seen when you are traveling or moving, or like I said, you are on the go, right? Now, this too has two types. First is the digital OOH, digital out of home, media, and second is the printed OOH, right? So these are the diverse types of media that we have covered. Now we are going to think of news items which are dealing with politics, economic issues, wars, crime, etc. Um, these are usually the news that you see in media. Now, the first two sections are examples of diversity of news items, which will increase our knowledge as well as vocabulary. So, when you see a page on the internet, what it looks like and how you can use it to your advantage, right? Um, Now, in the listening and speaking sections that we have, we will be able to discuss, because let's not lose the sight of this paper that we are covering, this course that we are covering. So, English in daily life and media is definitely a huge part of it, right? Media tells you, in fact, it shapes our way of thinking in a certain way. It's not it's like a mutual relationship that we have. What we need is being catered to us by the media, but at the same time, what we need is also being shaped by the media, right? So, um, in the listening and speaking sections, we are supposed to think about the topics, because these are day to day topics that we encounter, and we often have to speak about them here and there. Um, in general conversations, or maybe if you're going to give a speech, there are topics of which are of relevance, which are current issues, and one needs to talk about that, right? So in the listening and speaking section, we can talk about how we can improve our knowledge through media, and how media can help us be better communicators. It can give us an edge in communication over others, right? So we have to make choices. And one very important thing when we are discussing topics of relevance or issues which are burning issues, one needs to be very careful about the content that you choose, like we have covered in the other previous sections where we were talking about um, chit chat, casual chit chat when you meet somebody, or when you're in an informal, when you're in a formal setup or semi formal setup or informal setup, the communication will also vary. From one person to another, and according to situation. So, context becomes very important there, right? Similarly, here also, when we are listening and speaking, we need to be aware about what we are taking in our subconscious, and not let that subconscious control our communication, right? So you might have a certain way of thinking about a certain topic, or you have certain opinions and ideas, or ideologies, but are we supposed to um, keep them out just the way they are? Of course, being honest helps at times, but being cautious about, or being considerate about the sentiments of people in general can also be seen as good communication, okay? Or the sensibility of a good communicator, how you choose your topics and where you choose your topics, okay, or how you express a certain idea. So there are, as we have continuously maintained, that kindness can be a very good guide in helping you choose your topics, or helping, whether we talked about etiquettes, whether we talk about public conversation or personal conversation. It always helps if you are conscious about, or cautious about, the sensitivity of the other people, and use your sensibility to not hurt or affect that. Okay? So this is important once we are practicing listening and speaking sections, and there are so many exercises which are given to you in the blog, which of course we cannot cover here. But then, whatever we cover here in the session, you can always go back and implement that, and then try to incorporate that in your exercises, in your practice exercises which are given in your books. So now, the task given in the writing section will require you to use your imagination and write an interesting report. So, subjective writing, subjective thinking, subjective writing is what will make your writing section better, right? And once you have, see, it's a process. Why we cover in all the blogs and in all the sessions, you'll see that we are paying attention primarily on three four things. First is listening, second is speaking, third is writing, then you have grammar or pronunciation, right? So you read, you gain ideas, you listen, you gain ideas, and then you go to then you speak or you write. What happens, the ideas that you have gathered over a period of time, those ideas are there, they are there in your subconscious mind. But when you write or when you speak, you manifest those ideas in your own words, you express them with your subjective thinking, right? And your subjectivity reflects in whatever you speak or whatever you write. That's why it is very important to be careful about how you are going to put across your thoughts. Okay? So, and then of course, whatever you write or whatever you speak, you can always correct it and remove the errors by paying attention on the grammar part. Okay? So once you have become comfortable, you have gained exposure with a certain language, and you are able to use it in your writing or speaking, then it becomes important that you also see if there are certain errors that you are committing, and in order to improve that, grammar helps. And of course, now we have, earlier we had to look into the dictionary and those phonetic symbols to get the pronunciation of a certain word. But now we have voice medium over internet, through which you can check the pronunciation of words. So yes, this way media is making our life more convenient, and it also depends on how we use it. Anything can be a boon or a bane. Now, so like I said, in the writing section, you require your imagination to write an interesting report, or for that matter, whatever you need to write, any writing assignment. It helps until unless it is a very factual work. Um, you can always use your imagination, your subjectivity, your articulation to make the writing more interesting. Now, the grammar section will help you see the difference between the present perfect and the present perfect continuous tense. And we'll also talk about contractions in English. And in the pronunciation section, you will learn to pronounce correctly words from the unit. Now, the warm up session. So, look at any newspaper and note the following. So, think of the newspaper that you get, and nowadays, maybe because of COVID, many people had stopped newspapers for a while. But I'm sure that you have read or you have come across newspapers anytime, and I'm talking about the print newspaper, the printed publication. So just think of the newspaper and see if it is a local, international, or national edition. What is the language of the paper? If you do not have any newspaper right now, maybe you can do this later. But look at the edition of the newspaper. Is it national, international, or local? Then, what is the language of the paper? Okay. And why is that newspaper being published in that particular language? Okay. So these are the things that you have to ponder over and think. How many pages does it have? So usually, we know that newspaper has national, international, and then local, and then you have sports section, entertainment section. Um, but we never really count the pages exactly because they might also vary at times because on Sundays you have a thicker newspaper with the supplements in it. But just take a note of the pages that usually your newspaper has. And what are the main news items on each page? So, and this might actually be a very good exercise in terms of consistency. So if like for a week you check what are the how many pages are there, let's say, even if you do not if you are not yet habituated to reading newspaper, probably you can start with this. Take the newspaper and look at the edition. Then I mean, in order to get into something and get into the content of it, first you need to develop some interest towards it. So this could be an interesting way. You look at the edition of the newspaper. Then what is the language of the paper? Okay, so language of the paper is pretty evident when you have the newspaper and you know that you are taking it in the language that you know. But why is that particular publication using that language? Okay, and how many pages does it have? So just flip the pages and see how many pages does it have, and does it vary on different days or is it same? Okay, and what are the main news items? So this is important because when you even if you are not reading the entire newspaper in the beginning, if you start noticing the main items, news items on each page, um, gradually you will develop interest towards understanding it, and next time, maybe after a week, you would like to read on it. And which is your favorite page and why? That's a very important question. And maybe you can start by reading from your favorite page. Let's say if there are the topics that do not interest you. So in the beginning, you can start by reading through the pages that you enjoy. Now, uh, let's look at the vocabulary part. So, you see, computer has become a common means of communication and source of news today. So, when I said that you might not have access to print newspaper, not necessarily, but some of you might not have access to it. That's because a lot of people shifted and they moved from using the print newspaper to the electronic, not only in terms of newspaper but also in terms of other content. And internet became the main source of it. So the traffic on internet increased massively over last few years. And the convenience with it is that it is accessible to you anywhere. Okay? The newspaper or let's say a magazine, the convenience is that it does not strain your eyes so much, and you can carry it along um, anywhere. And with mobile phones or with especially with laptop, you do not have the convenience of carrying it wherever you go. Now with mobile phones, the problem that occurs is that the screen are small. There is added pressure on your eyes, of course, but the advantages that comes to mind at an instance at an instant mode is that you have quick access to anything. You go on Google, you type anything, you have it. You go on Yahoo search engine, you type, you have it, right? So the computer has become a common means of communication and source of news today. There are many sites which give us news and other information, and there are search engines like Google and Yahoo which respond to our queries and guide us to relevant sites. Now, one interesting way to increase your vocabulary is to look for information on the subject of your interest and find the meanings of words that you may not know. Now, whether we talk about, since we are talking about media, since this paper talks about communication in daily life, so we need to look at how media can help the communication in daily life, right? And keeping that in mind, um, or we of course we have these search engines, and you are reading something and you open another tab and you search for that word, or you click on that word and you might find the meaning on it of it in an instance. But the thing is that this was being done earlier too. The mode was different. I mean, people are reading books, and if they don't understand a word, they need to get their dictionary, and then they'll search for the meanings. So comparing with that, this might have become easier because you just click another tab. You don't really have to get up and get something. So one might get lazy that okay, I'll have to get that hefty dictionary. Then I'll have to turn pages. There are small dictionaries too, but so people might just get lazy at times regarding that. But if you're on the internet, then you can just press another tab and find the word. Okay, so the access is definitely faster when we talk about digital media, right? Now, what is social networking? Social networking, also referred to as social media, encompasses many internet based tools that make it easier for people to listen, interact, engage, and collaborate with each other. So, we all know what social media is, and it's great way of staying in touch with people. But we'll also notice that over past few years, the use or the relevance of social media has changed. It is not just about networking now or keeping in touch with your friends and family or relatives. It has become it has gone beyond that. It has become a way of networking professionally, and beyond that, it has become a marketing tool. Right? So people can interact with each other, engage and collaborate with each other. So there is a lot of cross breeding of ideas, cross fertilization of ideas, because there are so many people and it is accessible to so many people, and you are in touch with anybody anywhere in the world now. So the ideas are more fertile, and they are more so again, there are two sides to it. There is a positive side and there is a negative side to it, of this interaction becoming so global and so massive in nature, right? So social networking platforms such as Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, blogs, message boards, Wikipedia, and countless others are catching on like wildfire. So we are definitely living in times where social media is indispensable in certain ways. So let's say if there is somebody who likes to be more private and stuff, but then still they might feel the need for it to connect professionally with people, and they will have to come to social media. If they could avoid that too, but if somebody is running a business, then digital marketing, these social media channels, they become very important. Um, all right, so people use social networking to share photos, ideas, recipes, and to keep friends updated on our lives, which was one way, which is currently also it is one way of staying in touch with each other, with of course the pros and cons of it. You can use social networking tools from mobile devices such as smartphone as easily as from a PC or laptop. By its very nature, social networking is interactive. You can tell anyone that you want to talk to and that wants to listen to you. Anything about your opinions and experiences. So it's very interactive, right? Like I mentioned right, in the previous section, that you can connect with anybody, anywhere, by the virtue of your mobile phone. And if you think of it, something like this was so unimaginable, let's say 30, 40 years ago, 25 years ago. Um, so, its very nature, social networking is interactive. You can tell anyone anything about your opinions and experiences, and vice versa, through blogs, Facebook pages, videos, and even 140 character messages called tweets. So, you can tweet about your opinion. Now, in the last blog, we talked about money matters in daily communication, the language of the financial language, or the terms related to finances. So you see now mobile phones, like I said, that in last 25, 30 years, things have seen to things have been seen to go beyond the limited scope. of internet. And now if you're carrying a phone, like today I can just carry my phone and go anywhere. I do not even need to carry cash because there are so many wallet payments, online banking. There's so many options available, and everybody has them, right? Most of the people carry these, at least in the urban spaces. So many people are carrying these options. You go to the shops, they have the scan code, QR code, which you can scan and make the payment. You take a mode of transportation, they have a few such wallet services where you can transfer cash to them digitally. So in today's times, you could like earlier, one couldn't think of going out with their wallet without their wallet. But today, all you need is your phone. You can have your iCard picture there. Unless you're going to a place where hard copy is required, you can have an image of your iCard. You can have cash transfer from there. So basically, these are the things that you need. You will have your driving license there. Okay. Okay. But of course, hard copies are required at so many places. So that's indispensable at times. Alright, so people use social networking to share photos, ideas, recipes, and of course cooking. For cooking also, during COVID times when so many people did not know and all the services were closed and people couldn't go out, and students or bachelors, bachelorettes who lived alone, if they did not know how to cook, it became very difficult for them. So internet again came to their rescue, and they could learn from these social media channels and platforms how to cook, and they could watch and cook for themselves. So social networking is very interactive, and we talked about tweets. Your tweets again need it has to one has to be cautious about what they are tweeting. You do not want to create controversies. One more thing that communities are often based on common interests, causes, and concerns. So you'll see that if people share common interests, it is easier for them to connect, right? If they share common history, common concerns, common interests, so they can gel with each other easily. Um, so that also becomes one factor where you can find like-minded people. And um, a very important question of concern here is social media bringing us closer? Like we keep on coming across this debate all the time. Is it bringing us closer, or is it making us more self-absorbed and probably isolated? So yeah. Now, we don't have room to discuss all the social networking sites, but we can talk about the important ones. So, blogs are sites that people set up to provide information. What are blogs? Blogs are sites that people set up to provide information and opinions about events, ideas, or anything else they want to discuss. Blogs can include links to other related sites, photos, videos, and sound, as well as text. The number of bloggers is growing exponentially. The rise of Twitter and other microblogging systems helps integrate MABs and single author blogs into the news media. Blog can also be used as a verb meaning to maintain or add content to a blog. So now there is an extension to the word blog, and you must have heard about the term vlogging. V. So this is blog, BLOG, and there is vlogging. So there, you're doing the same things, but now the trend is more of videos in current times. Videos are just popular everywhere. People are creating videos, people are consuming videos like anything. Okay, and with another factor to look at is that data has become cheaper compared to earlier. So everybody has internet on their phones, and then there are these 1 GB, 2 GBs. facilities, even on data connection. So now they are able to consume more videos. Earlier, for 1 GB, you have to pay like a lot of amount. Okay. So people would be very cautious about how much are they consuming. Otherwise, if they might cross the limit, it will become difficult for them for the rest of the month, right? And also because of the technology, 4G, 5G, the speed uh, access has of course increased because of the decrease in the price of data or internet services, but also the consumption has increased because the technology is faster, so consuming videos becomes easier due to this other reason as well. So, like I mentioned, blogs are sites. So, if you want, you have certain ideas to share with people, and you want them to come and explore your personality, your writings, or anything that you do, cooking, your hobbies. You create a blog. Blog was really popular mode a few years ago. It still is, but now people are moving more towards vlogging. So you provide all the ideas there. Now Twitter is a microblogging site. It is a free microblogging service that allows registered member to broadcast short posts called tweets, either using a computer or a cell phone. Other Twitter users can follow your posts. So this is similar to many other social media platforms that you have, that you need to follow each other, right? So in Facebook, you were supposed to friend each other, but with Twitter and Instagram, you have started following each other, and even Facebook has incorporated this feature where you follow people. So you see, this also show the transition from a time where social media was meant to network with your family and friends in personal relationships, because the term used was friends. Okay? And now it's more about following, because it has gone beyond that. You might not be friends with somebody, but you follow their account because you like what they are posting or you relate to it, and then you follow each other because you might connect at a level which is not necessarily personal, right? So Twitter is a microblogging site. It's a free microblogging service that allows registered members to broadcast short posts called tweets, either using a computer or a cell phone. Other Twitters can follow your posts, but you can decide if you want to let them follow you or not. So this privacy control is in your hands. Twitter was created by Jack Dorsey, Noah Glass, Liz Stone, and Yvonne Williams in March 2006 and launched in July of that year. Twitter Inclusive is based on in San Francisco, California, and has more than 25 offices around the world. In 2013, it was one of the 10 most visited websites and has been described as the SMS of the internet. Facebook is a popular free social networking website that allows registered users to create profiles, upload photos, and videos. So we have been using Facebook for a longer period of time as compared to the other social media platforms which have come more recently. And it allows, again, you have to register here, just like Twitter, to create profile and to upload photos and videos and to send messages, and keep in touch with friends, family, and colleagues. So it is owned by American company Meta Platforms. Like we know that earlier they were known as Facebook, and recently they have changed their name to Meta. Founded in 2004 by Mark Zuckerberg with fellow Harvard College students and roommates Eduardo Saverin, Andrew McCollum, Dustin Moskowitz, and Chris Hughes. Its name comes from the Facebook directories often given to American university students. Facebook can be accessed from devices with internet connectivity, such as personal computers, tablets, and smartphones. After registering, users can create a profile revealing information about themselves. So you register on it, then you create a profile which gives information as much as you want to share. One can post text, photos, and multimedia which are shared with any other users who have agreed to be their friend or with different privacy settings publicly. LinkedIn, the media is a business. Now, how is it different from Facebook? So this is supposed to be absolutely professional, right? It's a business and employment oriented social networking service that operates through websites and mobile apps. It is mainly used for professional networking, including employers posting jobs and job seekers posting their CVs. Since December 2016, it has been a wholly owned subsidiary of Microsoft. As of September 2021, LinkedIn has 7 lakh 774 plus million registered members from over 200 countries and territories. LinkedIn allows members, both workers and employers, to create profiles and connect with each other in an online social network, which may represent real world professional relationships. LinkedIn can also be used to organize offline events, join groups, write articles, publish job postings, post photos and videos, and more. Now, Telegram is a non-profit cloud-based instant messaging service. Users can send messages and exchange photos, videos, stickers, audio, and files of any types. Users can have a secret chat which can be deleted from the receiver's phones too, within a period set. It was launched for iOS on 14th August 2013 and Android on 20th October 2013. The servers of Telegram are distributed worldwide with 5 data centers in different regions, while the operational center is based in Dubai, United Arab Emirates. Telegram provides optional end to end encrypted chats. Cloud chats and groups are encrypted between the app and the server so that ISPs and other third parties on the network cannot access data, but the Telegram server can. So users can send text and voice messages. They can make voice calls, video calls. They can share an unlimited number of images or documents, 2 GB per file, which is quite good space that they're providing. Good memory space that they are providing. The user locations, animated stickers, contacts, and audio files. So Wikipedia is a free open content online encyclopedia created through the collaborative efforts of a community of users known as Wikipedians. Anyone registered on the site can create an article for publication. Registration is not required to edit articles. It is multilingual, free online encyclopedia written and maintained by a community of volunteers through open collaboration and a wiki-based editing system. It is consistently one of the 10 most popular websites ranked by the SimilarWeb and former Alexa as of 2022. Wikipedia was ranked the 7th most popular site. Instagram is a mobile, desktop, and internet-based photo sharing application and service that allows users to share pictures and videos either publicly or privately to pre-approved followers. It was founded in 2010 by Kevin Systrom and Mike Krieger and later acquired by American company Facebook. Originally launched for iOS in October 2010, Instagram rapidly gained popularity with 1 million registered users in 2 months, 10 million in a year, and 1 billion by June 2018. The Android version was released in April 2012, followed by a feature limited desktop interface in November 2012. Followed by a feature limited desktop interface in November 2012, Instagram has also been criticized for negatively affecting teens' mental health. Its policy and interface changes, its alleged censorship. So next is WhatsApp. It is an ad-free instant messaging service for all major smartphones. It uses the internet to send messages, images, audio, or video. In January 2018, WhatsApp released a standalone business app targeted at small business owners called WhatsApp Business to allow companies to communicate with customers who use the standard WhatsApp client. WhatsApp was founded by Ryan Acton and Jen Kuhn, former employees of Yahoo. Initially, WhatsApp was not intended to be a messaging app. The client application was created by WhatsApp, inclusive of Mountain View, California, which was acquired by Facebook in February 2014 for approximately US $19.3 billion. Hike Messenger is a cross-platform instant messaging service for smartphones that uses the internet for communication. In addition to text messaging, users can send each other graphical stickers, emoticons, images, videos, audios, files, voice messages, contacts, and user location. It is also called Sticker Chat and was an Indian freeware cross-platform instant messaging voice over IP application, which was launched on 12 December 2012 by Kevin Bharti Mittal and is now owned by Hike Private Limited. The majority users are from India with 80% under the age group of 25. Next is YouTube, which is highly popular and is one of the most popular search engines. It is a site to share and watch videos. Anyone can record a video and then upload and share it through YouTube site. Everyone can watch the videos on YouTube. It is an American online video sharing and social media platform headquarters in San Bruno, California. It was launched on February 14, 2005 by Steve Chan, Chad Hurley, and Javed Karim. It is owned by Google and is the second most visited website after Google search. Since it is purchased by Google, YouTube has since its purchase by Google, YouTube has expanded beyond the core website into mobile apps, network television, and the ability to link with other platforms. Video categories on YouTube include music videos, video clips, news, short films, feature films, documentaries, audio recordings, movie trailers, teasers, live streams, vlogs, and more. Skype. With Skype, you can share a story, celebrate a birthday, learn a language, hold a meeting, work with colleagues, just about anything you need to do together every day. It is free to start using Skype to speak, see, and instant message other people on Skype. Skype Technologies, SARL, also known as Skype Software, Skype Communications, Skype Inclusive, and Skype Limited is a Luxembourgish telecommunications company headquartered in Luxembourg City. Now, uh, Discovery Channel. Discovery Channel India creates world-class documentaries on food, science, survival, and more. It is an American cable channel owned by Warner Brothers. Discovery, a publicly traded company run by CEO David Zaslav. As of June 2012, Discovery Channel was the third most widely distributed subscription channel in the United States, behind now sibling channel TBS and the Weather Channel. National Geographic, inspiring people to care about the planet, a channel for science, exploration, and adventure. The magazine was founded in 1888 as a scholarly journal 9 months after the establishment of the society, but is now a popular magazine. In 1905, it began including picture, a style for which it became well known. Its first color photos appeared in the 1910s. So basically, you see these channels, Discovery Channel, National Geographic Channel. These channels have been considered very important source of information. However, we are living in the times of TRPs, and every channel has its audience. Every media content has its own audience. So you'll see that's why the option of follow has been provided in on social media platforms, so that one can follow what they like, and you'll see that everybody has a niche area. So, when it comes to Discovery Channel, National Geographic Channel, these are the channels usually parents would ask their kids to watch during summer vacations, and otherwise, also, there are people who totally enjoy watching these channels, and the scope of such information based channels, knowledge based channels, um, they should become part of the growing up years of any child's education, because now again the matter of censorship comes here, not only here on all social media platforms as well, or news channels or entertainment channels, and that becomes a part of the information channels as well. So one needs to ensure the content that they're that the kids are watching. But these channels can greatly enhance the information or knowledge level of the students or the children. Same goes with the History Channel. So, History Channel features full episodes of history series and thousands of historical articles and videos. History was first launched as the History Channel on 30th November 2003. On 9th November 2011, the History Channel was relaunched in India as History TV 18 by a joint venture between A+E Networks and TV 18. Now, Fashion TV is an international fashion and lifestyle broadcasting television channel. It was founded in France in 1997 by its Polish-born president Michael Adam Lisowski. Fashion TV is a widely distributed satellite channel in the world with 31 satellite and 2,000 cable system. As of 2014, it had 400 million views all over the world. NDTV.com provides latest news from India and the world. Now we are moving towards the news channels. One is NDTV. It is an Indian news media company focusing on broadcast and digital news publication. It is credited for launching the first 24/7 news channel and the first lifestyle channel in the country. It owns and operates the broadcast news channels of NDTV India and NDTV 24/7. Next, BBC News is a 24-hour news and information channel. BBC News is an operational business division of the British Broadcasting Corporation. BBC responsible for the gathering and broadcasting of news and current affairs in the UK and around the world. The department is the world's largest broadcast news organization and generates about 120 hours of radio and television output each day, as well as online news coverage. Now, videos of wild animals on an encyclopedic level, from the plight of endangered species to the hope of adorable baby animals. So, Animal Planet was first established on June 1st, 1996. The network is primarily devoted to series and documentaries about wild animals and domestic pets. The channel was originally a joint venture with BBC Worldwide and primarily focused on nature documentaries surrounding wildlife, targeting a family audience. In 2008, Animal Planet rebranded with a more mature programming direction, with a greater emphasis on aggressive and predatory portrayals of animals, um, as well as an increase in documentary style reality TV series following personalities involved in animal related occupations and investigations. Star Sports is a group of Indian sports channels. Star Sports, formerly ESPN Star Sports, is a group of Indian multinational pay television sports channel owned by Disney Star, formerly Star India, a subsidiary of the Walt Disney Company India. Previously a part of ESPN Star Sports with its operations based in Singapore, Star India took over the Indian business and relaunched channels under the unified Star Sports brand in 2013. That's Star Sports. Next, HBO. It provides viewers with access to award-winning blockbuster movies. HBO is the oldest and longest continuously operating subscription television service in the United States. HBO pioneered modern pay television upon its launch on November 8, 1972. It was the first television service to be directly transmitted and distributed to individual cable television systems. Sony Entertainment Television, in the TV channel of Popular. So we are covering all types of news channels, and because there is not much scope to cover every channel, so we have just picked up few channels from each category. Okay? But are always free to look at the details of the other channels as well. So, popular reality TV shows and soaps. It was launched on 30th September 1995 and is owned by Culver Max Entertainment, a subsidiary of the Japanese Sony. Now, Set India's YouTube channel has over 117 billion total views and over 133 million subscribers. It also started airing all Disney Channel shows and Disney movies until 2003. So, B4U Music is a platform for Bollywood film soundtracks, the revival of the golden oldies, and upcoming artists. The channel broadcasts a mixture of contemporary Bollywood, Indian pop bhangra, and international music. Programs include celebrity interviews, artist profile, concerts, and chart rundowns, as well as media request shows. Um, then we have other channels and the news channels, the cartoon channels, the music channels. So we'll come to grammar part now. So let's talk about the present perfect and the present perfect continuous tense. Read the following sentences. The planned launch has drawn attention from opponents of nuclear power. Scientists have been working for 17 years on the 9-year voyage to Pluto. In sentence 1, if you see, the planned launch has drawn. So the term has drawn is an example. The planned launch has drawn attention from opponents of nuclear power. So, has drawn is an example of the present perfect, which is used to describe a complete action. In the second sentence, scientists have been working for 17 years. So, have been working for 17 years. This is an example of the present perfect continuous. So, using the planned launch has drawn attention. So the action has been completed. It's a complete action. So it's the present perfect tense. But in sentence 2, they have been working. So the action is still in continuation. Okay. So in sentence 2, have been working is an example of the present perfect continuous, which is used for an action over a period of time up to now. We often use for and since with it. Now look at the following sentences. We are going home. So you see, look at all the three sentences right now. We are going home. I know it isn't easy. They are coming today. So we are, it is not, they are. We are is not, they are. So what do you notice about the underlying words? They are short forms or contractions of two words. The apostrophe is inserted in place of a missing letter or letters. So you see uh, the apostrophe is there in place of a. We are the space and a is not. So instead of O, you have the apostrophe. They are. So instead of A, you have the apostrophe. We have. So instead of HA and space, you have the apostrophe. They would. So instead of the entire word would, you just have D and then you have the apostrophe. So it indicates that something is missing. The apostrophe indicates that it is used in place, it has been inserted in place of a missing letter or letters. So whenever you see when we write dates also, then we do not write the entire, like we will not, sometimes we don't write 2022, we just write the date. Let's say if it is 1st January 2022, so you write 1st Jan apostrophe 22. So the apostrophe indicates that there is a missing uh, letter or letters or digits. Right? So these are called contractions. So let us sum it up. And I would also like to talk about reports, writing reports. So a report is a written account of something that one has observed, okay, heard, done, or investigated. So it is a systematic and well organized presentation of facts, timeline of an event that has already taken place. Okay? And there are few steps in which you can write a good report. First is you choose a topic. Then second step, you find a good heading, suitable heading for that topic. Okay? Then third is that you do your own research on the topic. So you cannot pick up something and just follow that thread of thought. You incorporate your own understanding, your own ideas there. So in order to develop that, again you have to research on it. You have to know all the facts related, or as many facts related to that. For that, you need to do a good deal of research, right? And you cannot completely follow somebody else chain of thought or somebody else ideology. So what you do is that you do your research, you look at the thesis, the antithesis, to produce a synthesis of your own, right? So that's one thing. Then you also create, after you've done your research, then you bring it all together and you create your own pointers. Okay, Okay, you integrate all those ideas. You write them. You prepare an outline how you would be starting, how you would be going ahead with it, how would you conclude it, and then you start jotting down. After you have jotted down the points, then you start writing them. You start articulating and expanding on those points. So when you have written on those points, then obviously you have a rough draft prepared. So prepare a rough draft. Then next you move towards preparing a final draft. You look at the you look at the uh, things which are missing in this rough draft. You correct them. You prepare a final draft. Then after preparing the final draft, you do a proofreading again, just to ensure that it is completely error free, it is formatted properly. Right? So that's about report writing. So now that we have almost completed this unit, we have completed this unit. So we have spoken about media and how it can help us to improve our knowledge and vocabulary. We made informed and intelligent choices from the range of radio and TV channels. We have practiced or we have discussed how can we write good reports, giving a first person account. And we have learned the usage of present perfect and present perfect continuous tense. We have used the um, correct contractions. We learned what contractions are and how to use them. Now, unit 2 is the floating markets of Thailand. Okay, so in this unit, you'll be able to read an expository piece and understand its main points, comprehend new lexical items using cues from within the text, and make inferences from the text, evaluate the situation and provide personal opinion. We can look for patterns and generalize. We can utilize the information gleaned from the text in real life situations. We can use the passive without the agent. And we can make comparisons using informations given in pictures. Right? So the term, this is a warm-up exercise before we end the session. The word market and mall are places where one can buy things. Here are a few more names of different kinds of shops and places where one can buy things. So a kiosk, a small shop selling cigarettes, newspapers, or cool drinks. Second, a showroom, a large shop store in which goods for sale are displayed. Then there is a takeaway, a restaurant that cooks and sells food that you can take away and eat somewhere else. Then factory outlet, a large store selling goods at a discounted price. Then you have a gold souk, a place which has many shops of gold under one roof. Then we have a bazaar, a market with many small shops. For vocabulary, we have mobile, which is not fixed to a place, survival, the state of continuing to live or exist. Then you can look at the terms like hectic activity, horizon, vendor, traditional, barter, throng, revive, laden with. So, grammar where you have a passive without an agent. So, the boats are laden with the produce from the nearby orchards and community farms. These are made up. These what are these floating markets? Are made up of large clusters of boat which serve the purpose of both sales counters and transport vehicles for the farmers who gather here to sell their wares every morning. These floating markets are called talat nam in the Thai language. So you will see that the subjects of these three sentences are not doing the action but receive the action done by others. So, and also the sentences are in the passive voice. Uh, is shown, are broken, has been made. These are the terms that uh, you add a helping verb to the past participle according to the tense or the time indicated. So writing, describing places, the place. When you describe a place, you might like to keep this in mind. Mention the following: the place, the shops and their structures, the kind of shops and the goods they are selling, the difference between the shops and the pavement hawkers, vendors, the people seen at the different shops, and your interpretation of their dress, stance, actions, or what they seem to be doing. So let us sum it up. You have read an expository piece, and you can do it by looking at your blog. So there are things that we cannot cover due to limitation of time. So these are the things that you can look at. And let's sum it up by saying that you can incorporate media and the topics discussed through media in improving your communication and also these grammatical skills that we have covered today. So, thank you. Take care. Have a good day.